Hi, this is Srinivas Tamada, founder of MyLesson.info. This video is about continuation of my Angular routing project. This is just converting the basic routing into a lazy loading design pattern. If you notice, like I explained the dynamic routes and how to design your proper routes into index and home. If you see the demo, this is what the basic demo like you will find out in routing.nylesson.info. If you log in, you will find these components and you basically log out. So the same thing. If you see this pattern of this project, like it's pretty straightforward. Like the components are loading directly. So this will not work out if you are working for a large project, like you have n number of components. And that's the reason Angular is providing a better solution with lazy loading design pattern. Like that way you can like load through components with a module, so you can speed up the page. Basically, you no need to load everything at the one shot. You can load like whenever you need it. So that way you can reduce the bundle size. So I'll quickly show you this. This is what I'm running in the local, but I'm switching to the different branch and I'll show you this routing structure because I completed that in a different branch, and let me check that. So I converted the project into a lazy loading, and I just want to show you. Then I'll start the process like ng serve. So right now I'm switching to the different branch. Yep, the same project I'm refreshing again now, and let's see the pattern now for the route pattern. If you see it, like instead of loading the components, it's now converting into a lazy loading pattern. So whenever you need it, like the component is loading, like see the product component is loading when I click the settings, the settings component is loading. So this is what we're going to achieve in this video. So let's switch back to the dev branch, and like let's work on it. Like if you have already a component based project, then how you can convert quickly. So that is what I'm going to explain now. So I'm going to the dev branch. If you see this is a flat pattern, like flat component based project. I think if you watch my previous videos, and you will understand that like how I created all these files. So that way this is a continuation of my series of Angular routing. So let's close this. Let me refresh this again, and oh, I think I need to restart the server. So the server is up now, and let me refresh this, and let's close it, and I'll inspect it again for a confirmation. So it's now pretty straightforward. Okay, and please watch like if you see this previous video, this is a part 3, and if you watch 2 and 1, and you will understand entire routing concept. So let's refresh this again. Let me open it in a new page so that I don't want this anymore. So like open the new tab, and I'm just opening with that Visual Code. If you look at this, everything is straightforward. All the login and sign up and forward will be in the index route, and all other under authenticated pages under the home route. So the first thing is we consider these are the pages the same way for this, and components are like internal ways, like logo. You can split that into multiple ways that I'll explain as well. So let's try to add a modules for these. So because the lazy loading works with the modules, you can quickly generate using an ng command like ng generate and m for module, or you can just give module and then home, because home is a project, and you can give just simply dashboard. And I don't want the spec file for this. It's like I don't want to cover any unit testing for this. I'm just generating it. If you look at this, the module has been created. If you see, this is a kind of a pattern. So I'm loading it here. So the same way I need to generate it for everyone, like every page. So the main pages, like you can do the same, like instead of generate, you can give G. Instead of module, you can give M. So the same way I'm going to do it for other pages, like products, and the same way for settings. And the users, and I think the users is a dynamic routing page, like based on the input, like it dynamic creates the route. So we created all for the index for the home, and I'm going to create it for index. I have few pages, like let me open it. I think the login and the forgot password. So forgot. So basically, like these are the pages. This is the sign up page and the forgot page. I think I missed the, I think, yeah, this is the forward page and the login. Yes, once you log in, I think you can give anything and login. This is authenticated pages. That's what if you access directly, it redirects back. So that's that guard center I explained in the previous parts. Okay, and now I think we created everything for routes. Let's anything is pending. Yeah, we have a component. So this has all the components. So I just want to create one more module, and I'll explain you what is the advantage of this, because it's kind of a shared component. So I'm creating it for components because it automatically takes it, it understands and a components module. Now, like if you see all other pages, like we are instead of directly loading the logo component, so this logo we can keep it inside, and then you can load this wherever you want, like, so that's what the advantage. So under this we're going to create some more components, that way you can understand. And one more thing, like if you look at this, let me create another new component under the components. So this module is automatically takes the new component automatically. Look at this now. So generate and component, and then I'm going to give under components like some name component. So look at this. The name component has been created here. The same way the name component also imported here. But in this case, like you just declarations is like if you don't want to like make it like private, you don't need to export it. But if you want to give it to everyone, I mean you want to share within a different pages, then you have to export this stuff. So that way it's like basically private and public. So the same component you have to import it again. So you don't need to update this. That's what, like it, whenever you create under this, it automatically pulls up the same way, like for all other modules too, the same. So we created this logo before, so now time to import that. That's it. And yeah, try to install this auto import extension, so that like auto import extension, that way you'll get all the components, paths, everything automatically adjust. Yeah, now we need to adjust the routes for the lazy loading. If you look at the home route, uh, I already explained all these things for the straightforward things. If you see this is the straightforward loading of the components. Instead of that, we are going to import the modules. Uh, but that's going to change, like instead of the component, we're going to change it to load children, and then this is going to change to app, and then home. So where exactly this is located and the dashboard. And then that is if you open this dashboard and the dashboard module, I mean basically you have to give the file. So and then hash, and you have to refer the name of the class. So that's what the way of like changing the direct component base to the lazy loading. The same way you have to change it for everything, and little more work is pending. If you look at the project, nothing going to work. So but still work is pending, so I'm going to change it to everyone so that quickly, instead of this I'm loading this and it's going to settings. So why? Because these are two, because I created a dynamic routes. If you watch the previous video, you'll understand why I created this way you can take dynamic names. So because I'm loading here two times, because it's a single parameter and the double parameter, so you have to load it for twice. uh, I think it's a user, and basically if you see this, yeah, this is what I'm pointing. Let's close this, and this user, and this is also user. Yep, this is done. When I'm saving it, yeah, it's done. If you look at that, I automatically deleted all the things. I added some extension for this. Let me explain later. It automatically, if I'm not using any components, it automatically deletes off like when I save it. So now go back to the index one, go to index routes, the same way change to the load children. Even I do have another page, I missed it out for the system error. Let me add it for the system error too, and make sure give the proper name. So it comes, sometime it comes camel case, but the class names is always start with caps. So yeah, this is done, and I deleted automatically for all other stuff. And yeah, this is pretty good now. And yeah, now all the routes connected to the modules, but the same way how we imported the component, the same way this module has to import their own components, so that it is actually connected with the module. It's simple, like like just dashboard component and just export that to the same one. I think we have to do it for everyone. Let's quickly do it. This is like products, component, and exports. So now I modified, I played the same for everything on all the pages. So this is what I did. Now let me close it. Still project is still not loading. So we have a little more things to do it. There is called, like, we need to create a route files for everyone. So this is a pretty simple, this is a new class, and that one you're going to map it to the module, because the module only knows the what component to load, but it will not understand with this routes what name, based on this name we need to load what, like the module doesn't. I think we need to do that. So let's go to the dashboard and create a like new file called dashboard dot routes dot ts. Because why I'm doing this way, because in future, like if you look at this project, like this is called dynamic, yeah, this is a dynamic routing, so that's why I created like I can give my name. So I mean, like, I think I have applied a regular expressions. So this is what the dynamic route works. So why I created that, we need to create a different routes for every page, because every page has a multiple things, like product has some kind of pages, like settings has like edit change password, or like edit email. All the stuff comes under this, so that way you can easily maintain all the settings pages under this, and the dashboard pages under this. So that way you can organize the project more better way. Like So in the same way, like all the under the dashboard, all the routes you can keep it here. So let me create a simple class. It's called export constant. Like I'm going to give like dashboard routes, and this is called route. And you can import this, and then it's an array. And now right now it is a default. If you look at this home route, it's a default path. The same thing comes here. The previous one, like we are directly loading the component, right? So it's component, it's not actually capital, it's a small one, component, and the dashboard component. Yeah, this is got imported, and this is a router. I think I made a mistake here. Yeah, now let's save it and import it here. Yeah, all the errors gone. So this is what the actual structure, and now this you have to connect it here. So that is pretty simple. Now you have to in the imports, like there is a router module dot for child, and then you have to import the actual route. This is what the routes for this. Let's import this and save it, and make sure import everything related to that. Yep, looks everything good. Yep. In the same way, like you need this too. Like this is because all this name and logo, all these things, you're going to use it everywhere. Like every page you're going to use it. It's the same module, you can use it here. So yeah, and import that. So that way, like all these modules, like name and logo, with this selector, and you can simply use it. And like let's take it like simple. I'm just going to give this is a name component. Yeah, name works. Okay, let me include this and I'll show you once everything is done. So this way you have to apply it for everything. Like now if you look at that, I changed everything for the routes and the modules. The same thing I applied for all the pages. And if you look at these changes, like all these files has been like the same pattern. And make sure like now come back to the index module the same way. I'm just opening this, and the same way to the home module. So right now the routes are opening through a module, so we no need to declare all this thing. Instead of that, you can just declare the same home component here, and you can export the same thing like that, home component. Yeah, this is done, and we don't need the router module. And maybe if you're going to use this components module for the logo, all other shared ones, so I can use like component module. It's module like what? Yep, it got imported, so everything looks good. When you yeah, let's see, like yeah, it's done. The same thing we are going to apply it here too. We don't need all of these. Instead of that, we are directly loading the index component, and I'm going to export that. Yep, I don't want the router module here. I need a forms one, and components module for all other logo, all the stuff. Let me save it. All this unused imports will go off. Yes, now this is good. Now back to the app module. If you look at here, everything is I'm loading here. Instead of that, I don't want these stuff. Instead, I'm directly loading the home and the index module, and remaining the stuff is needed. Yeah, let's save it and see how the project works. Yep. I think there is another page. Let me. You have to apply the same. Let me apply that too. Like no page module and the exports. Sorry, no page component. Yeah, looks good, and I think we don't need this. Instead, we need to load the no page module here. Let's restart the server once and see, like, because we modified the modules. Once if you restart it, you'll find actual issues. Yeah, looks like this path is not able to find out with the module because I updated with Angular 6 to 7. Make sure cross verify the paths. Basically, there is a tsconfig file, so this imports the tsconfig app. So here you have to load the base path again because the same base path. So that way, like these routes will understand. I mean, like this is what we are missing. Let me, yeah, this path, like now based on the base path, it'll understand. Now if you restart this project again, I think this issue will resolve. Yeah, there is another issue. Let me check what is exactly happening in the home user module. Yeah, I think I gave the wrong names here. Like, I think it's a user module, not users module. Let's save it and see again. We'll get any error. Yeah, now the build is good. Let's see. Is still project is loading or we're getting anything else. I think still it's a blank page. Looks like some more errors. Yes, I think we need to import this for schemas because we implemented with a lot of uh, I mean, like these are the custom selectors so that the Angular will not understand. Let's close everything, open all the modules. The best way is open all the modules and import that. So instead of that, like I'm going to apply it for root and the home and see even control P, and I'm just opening the home module too and the app module. Yep, and that's called schemas, and just copy paste that and you can import this from Angular core. I'm just copying this and using it everywhere. Yeah, I solved all the problems, mostly like renaming stuff because copy pasting stuff is always creating a lot of problems. So, yep, now I'm just refreshing the project now. Yeah, look at the project, like if you see it's coming blank now, let's go to inspect and see it's everything is null. And if you see the route tree, everything is looks good. And now if you see it, its path is login, and I think I gave the wrong path. It is showing twice as a login and login. Here you no need to give anything because we already specified in the index routes. Ignore my previous thing because this is the main one. Always inner ones are like the empty ones. Maybe I just want to change it quickly. How can I miss this? I think some of them I copied it wrong way. So yeah, that's the problem. When you copy wrong stuff, you're always making the same mistake again and again. Yeah, this good and this is bad, and yeah, this is good. Let me save it and now look at the project now. Yeah, if you look at this, yeah, now looks good. And you can install this plugin and you can see that now it's everything is lazy loading. When I click this, it's going to dashboard, and now click on the products is loading. Yep, the settings is loading, and if I click on the logout, I'm clearing out the path. So this is how lazy loading works. And yeah, the components, how the component works, because if you go to the dashboard, this is the dashboard page. I just want to load the name component. This has the name works. So what is the advantage of, because we imported the the common module and component modules everywhere. So let's directly print like app name and just import like this. And if you look at the dashboard, see, and I think I didn't save properly. Let's kick off again. Yeah, the other problem with the lazy loading is every time you have to restart the server, because the components and importing everything is based on the module. You need to restart the server every time. So that's the disadvantage, but it'll be pretty fast. And yep, see, this works quickly. Like you can just simply if whatever you change, like here, that automatically comes there, like my name. And maybe if you write some stuff to get the authentication details, maybe I'll explain it later. The same way, like you can copy this wherever you want, like even like dashboard, you want to show it on the settings, just copy paste it. Yeah, if you want to create another component, like let's go here, ng generate C for component and components, some new component I'm going to give like button. Yep. So if you see under this, I'm going to create another component. Yeah, this is a button component. Simply you can keep some button. So now if you want to use this button, like app button, that's it. You don't need to import it again and again, and it's like everything so quick. And if you see this module, it automatically imports with a button. And one more thing is you have to export it. Make sure, don't forget that. So whenever you add a new components or anything, you have to restart it, otherwise like the system will not understand. See this, the button came up. So that way you can solve the lazy loading issues. Yeah, maybe the next one I'm going to explain, like maybe I'm going to add some more things in this. Let's continue this series. Thanks a lot for watching this video.